Hi, I'm Grace Underwood, licensed clinical mental health counselor associate, and I'm coming at you from the comfort of my home office to give you some tips for mental health that'll hopefully help your mental health from the comfort of your own home. Today we're going to be talking about sleep. It's April 15th, 2020 as I'm recording this, and we're in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, and I've heard a lot of people having issues with sleep, so I wanted to go ahead and address that. I'm going to be going over sleep hygiene, which are basically behavioral modifications that you can make that improve the quality of your sleep. Let's start by talking about some things to avoid doing in order to get better sleep. In the 4 to 6 hours before bed, you should be avoiding nicotine, caffeine, and alcohol. Nicotine and caffeine are both stimulants and will have you so stimulated in a lot of cases that it's hard to fall asleep at all. And alcohol, while a lot of people say gives them the effect of being able to fall asleep more easily, can mess with your quality of sleep by waking you up in the middle of the night and having a low quality of sleep overall. So go ahead and avoid those things in the 4 to 6 hours before bed and see if you see any positive changes in your quality of sleep or your ability to fall asleep. Much like caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, avoid having your last meal of the day be a very rich and filling meal. Generally, just be aware of how full you are after your last meal of the day. Make sure that you've had enough food and make sure that you've not had too much, and make sure that it's not too rich of a meal, because that can be something that wakes you up in the middle of the night having you feel quite uncomfortable. Another thing to avoid is the bright lights that come from your cell phone, laptop, and TV. Try turning those devices all off an hour before you intend to fall asleep, because the light stimulates us like the daylight does. You know how easy it is to be awake during the day because of the sun. And not to mention the news or social media posts that you're seeing. You can give yourself a break from those in the hour before bed. They can be bad news, they can be stimulating, they can knock your confidence, and it's nice to have a nice mindset as you go into bed too. So give yourself a break from devices and from news and media intake in the hour before bed. Another thing to avoid is doing work, eating, watching Netflix shows, even reading in bed. Try to move those activities to another part of your house, especially working. See if you can maybe work from your couch or kitchen table, or if you're lucky enough to have a home office with a desk, do that instead of having those things done on your bed. Your brain is really sensitive to associations and learning, basically. So if you learn that you do all kinds of activities in your bed other than sleeping, then your brain is going to have a harder time sorting out what you're meant to be doing at the time that you go to sleep or go to bed to go to sleep. Keeping that association really clear can help you fall asleep easier. Another thing that might come up if you've had trouble sleeping or had poor quality sleep the night before is the urge to nap and the urge to cancel your plans for the day. As far as napping, you may allow yourself a nap, but try to have it be in the early afternoon or earlier than that during the day, and cap it at an hour. Have it be an hour or less so that you're still tired when it comes to your bedtime that night. Canceling your day and not having what you meant to get done can forge an association with your brain of bad sleep equals bad productivity and a bad life. So try to still get done what you absolutely need to get done, and if you are still feeling tired and you've done what you need to do for the day, do be kind to yourself and put yourself to bed early like you would a kid. Something to avoid is having clocks where you can see them while you're sleeping. If you have like a digital alarm clock, go ahead and turn that to face the wall at least while you're sleeping, or turn the display off if that's an option for you. If you have your phone near you where you can reach it and check the time while you're trying to sleep, try to put it a little bit further than arm's reach so that you're not doing that anymore. Something to do is stick with your exercise routine. If you don't have an exercise routine, or if you've lost track of your exercise routine since doing most things from home, go ahead and plan in 20 minutes into your day where you can focus on exercising for the stress relief and for the benefits that it'll give you for your mental health and your sleep. Do avoid exercise being done in the 4 hours before going to bed, because that's another thing that can be quite stimulating. Do have a bedtime routine that works for you. Something relaxing and simple, like maybe putting your phone to bed, brushing your teeth, and doing a skincare routine, and changing into your pajamas before it's time to go to bed, or taking a shower or bath and then changing into your pajamas before it's time to go to bed. Something I will say about pajamas is I've seen a lot of memes going around about people like wearing their pajamas all throughout the house during the day during this time, or like literally all the time. It actually might be something you haven't thought about, but it can be helpful to actually have clothes that are specific for sleeping, that are another cue to your body that it's time to go to sleep. So your body and brain might be a little bit confused right now if you're walking around the house in the same clothes that you sleep in. So try maybe having pajamas be something that you put on really specifically close to bedtime. Do stick with your regular wake up time and bedtime every day. I say stick to it within an hour because I like to be realistic. So if I have my best bedtime for me set at 11 o'clock, then I could go to bed anytime from like 10 o'clock to 12 a.m. And if I think the best time to wake up is 8 a.m., then I could wake up anytime between 7 and 9. But roughly wake up in the same time of day and go to bed at the same time of day consistently. And that's another thing that your body will just learn your routine and stick with it. Do give yourself a break and get out of bed after 20 minutes of trying to sleep. If you're aware that you've been tossing and turning in bed for 20 minutes or more, trying to go to sleep or trying to go back to sleep after having woken up in the middle of the night, give yourself a break. Do something that you enjoy that is not too stimulating, like maybe reading a familiar book, or doing a chore around the house, doing a little art, or meditating, doing yoga. Just don't reach for your phone. I'm going to give you a tip for something that I find useful as far as avoiding using my phone in the middle of the night, and that is I'm a huge fan of the do not disturb setting, so I always have that moon on so that calls and text messages don't come through when I'm trying to sleep. And I'm also a huge fan of the good old airplane mode, so I click that, and then if I were to reach for my phone, I wouldn't see that a text message or a phone call has come through while I'm trying to sleep, and maybe get that effect of wondering what that phone call or text was about and having to resist the urge to check it. Do make your bedroom a good place for sleep. That means minimizing noise, minimizing light, and having it be a comfortable temperature for you. Often our bodies do better with sleep when the room we're sleeping in is pretty cold, and so you can mess around with your thermostat at home, see what the best ideal sleep temperature for yourself is. And as far as noise and light, you can shut the door. If you can still hear roommates or people in the apartment next to you, it's a good idea to go ahead and invest in some earplugs. And if you're having trouble shutting out light, of course, draw your shades, draw your curtains if you have them. If you don't have shades and curtains, go with one of those face masks. Another thing that makes your bedroom a nice place to sleep is removing distractions and cues that remind you of work or other stressful things. So do put that laptop away somewhere, put your textbooks somewhere that you wouldn't be able to see them from your bed, and reduce those cues to think about work or other stressful things, and just make it about sleep. I hope you're able to take this and make some more space and time for yourself to have good quality sleep. Taking care of yourself right now is not selfish, it's wonderful, it's great for your health, great for your physical and mental health. So I hope that you take the tips in this video and that they're able to help you if you've been struggling with sleep. If you liked this video, do give it a like and comment below if there's a mental health topic that you'd like me to cover in a future video. Until then, take care.